Hello, welcome to Biker Bushcraft. Thank you for joining me. So in this video, I'm going to address the most common question that I was asked from my previous video, and that is, how the heck do you get all that stuff on the bike? Well, it's really not that hard. So I keep my bedroll on the bars, and that includes my wool blanket, that includes my tarps, and then I keep a duffel bag on the back that has pretty much everything else: my cooking implements, a small portable stove, dry food, some clothes, also my camera gear, which I've already taken out. Then my saddlebags are packed with more sensitive items, some of my personal stuff, some of my cutting tools, and the other saddlebag, the left saddlebag away from the pipes, includes a small cooler. So let me start breaking this off the bike and showing you how all of this goes together. Okay, now everything's off the bike. It's time to start setting this up. First, I need to clear my pad. At least get the big stuff out of here. So now that we have the area clear, I'm going to first set up my shelter. Now, if it was going to be a warm night, this would be sufficient. I could just lay out the ground cloth, curl up, pull the tarp over me, but it's supposed to get down into the mid-30s tonight, and that's a little bit cold, so I want a little bit of a shelter to retain the heat. So once the shelter's set up, there's a few odds and ends. Putting my wool blanket in there, my tarp in there, my pillow. Second outing, we'll see how it does. Because it's down, I want to get that out, let it start fluffing up as soon as I possibly can. And then my self-inflating mat. When I store this, I store it out of the compression bag and let it fully inflate and just sit there inflated to try and keep it built up as much as I possibly can. Now you may be asking why I'm putting this on top of my blanket and tarp and other bedding, so there's no weight on it, so it can just sit there and do its thing and self-inflate. So now let me show you the rest of my kit. Over here I have a folding bow saw, shovel. This is my dry food and my kitchen. So in this bag, I like the old basmati rice bags. They're great for holding miscellaneous stuff. They work as tinder bags, they work as food bags. They're fantastic. So a few canned foods. I pack some biscuit type mix. All I have to do is add water to this and I can make bannock with it. Then in this bag I carry a Yeti insulated cup. Really like this cup. And here I have my Toaks pot, which is titanium. Really dig it. Inside the Toaks pot I have my can opener, miscellaneous spices, and then my titanium Toaks stove. Very easy to put together. Works perfect with the pot. It's actually a lot more stable than it looks. Very easy to light. And the advantage to this, even when I can have a fire, is I can have a second burner going. I can use this in the mornings if I get up and I don't want to start a fire or restart the fire. I can use this to heat my water for my coffee. It's really convenient. I've got my tripod case. So also in here, I carry a lot of extra Ziplocs for a lot of different purposes. I use them for trash, I use them for waste, use them for everything. This is a collapsible coffee filter because I can't live without coffee. It's a necessity. Oxygen, coffee, you know. Lately there have been a lot of fire restrictions put in place, and when I'm doing dispersed camping I can't have a campfire in this area at all. So I bring a portable sterno stove as well. So I do have this in my kit when I know that I'm going to be in an area where I may not be able to have a fire. And my final basmati bag big basmati bag. Cast iron skillet, don't leave home without it. An extra knife, because you can never have enough knives. Spatula. Spork. This thing's, believe it or not, works better than I expected it to. It's better than nothing, and it's small. I bring a hot pad just because, and a stainless steel plate, easy to keep clean. I also bring a cheap little cutting board pad. I get these at the dollar store for nothing or next to it, and it can go down if I'm preparing something that I can't prepare in a Ziploc and is going to pick up splinters and dirt and crud, and I want something clean. I can clean this off real easy, and this works and gives me a clean working surface for preparing food. And then my box of char. Not much left in there, but enough for today. My camera kit, and I don't always bring this. This is a oilcloth coat. If there's a chance it's going to rain, I bring it. If there's a chance it's going to be really, really cold, I bring it. And there's a chance it's going to be really, really cold. So I can wrap up in that, and I can actually sleep in that along with my wool blanket, and that'll keep me really, really warm. It's very comfortable. Now, I like to carry a little transistor radio with me. This one's solar powered, has a flashlight, and all these other goodies that I really don't care about. Half gallon of water, tinder bag, and some extra cordage. Now, I like the red paracord because you can see it. If I'm going to add lines to my tarp structure or add lines somewhere that I have the potential to trip over them, I like to use this, and that way I have some chance of seeing it before I end up on my head. Trusty towel. And this bag, another basmati rice bag, is just miscellaneous stuff. Got a dry bag just in case it rains so that I can secure my camera and keep it from getting wet. And I've got my headlight, wipes, and some extra cotton to make some more char. And off. Yeah. GoPro and my leather jacket. So there you have it. That's my complete kit. My shelter's set up. My sleeping roll is set up. So now I'm ready to put the finishing touches on putting my camp up. So this time I decided I was definitely going to camp in a developed campsite because I wanted a fire. I didn't want to use the sterno to cook my food. So I found a very remote campsite. It is developed. It's got a fire pit. Some firewood was already here. Picnic table, extremely convenient. And pretty much nobody around. There is one other set of campers over there, but they don't seem to be home right now, so I'm guessing they probably aren't going to disturb me much. And I'm looking forward to a very pleasant evening out in the forest. Time to process some wood. ought to do it. So we're going to go ahead and work on getting the fire started here. Well, it's not like I've never seen cows before, but I didn't expect to see them out here. That's the wonderful thing about being outdoors and being out in the wilderness. You never know what you're going to see or what you're going to find or what's going to happen. It's all an experience. I'm really enjoying the bells, so I think I'm going to shut the camera off and save my battery until I'm ready to start cooking and just sit back and enjoy the sound of the bells. Okay, so we've got our bed of coals and a little bit of dinner music going on. I think it's time to actually start this process, start doing a little cooking. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of these coals and I'm going to actually put them in my little Tokes stove. That way I don't have to build a separate fire for that. Okay, so now my Toke stove is going. It's got some good hot coals in it. And I'm going to be using that for my beans. Some Bush's baked beans. Now let's see what the main course is. Bourbon peppercorn marinated steak from the Twain Harte Market. Absolutely the best meat counter in Tuolumne County. Love their stuff, and these steaks I'm particularly fond of, so we're going to eat well tonight. and let it come up to room temperature. It's been sitting out for probably half an hour now. I'm going to let it sit a little bit more while we get the coals a little more stabilized and get the heat of the toke stove up so I can start cooking the beans as well. I'm going to go ahead and preheat this pan. The thing about cast iron is if you get it good and hot, there's all kinds of things you can do cooking with it. But you really gain the benefits of having cast iron over any other metal by preheating it. Get the pan good and hot. And this is kind of an experiment, so we'll see how it works out. I wanted asparagus, and I just didn't think that raw asparagus was going to travel. So, by the way, this particular can opener, this is the way to go. Absolutely nothing better. I use it at home, not just out camping, because I like it so much. They never get dull. Doesn't help with smoke on my face, but they work really well. They're the civilian equivalent of the P-38. And I'm actually going to try just putting the water in and the asparagus all together. Like I said, this is an experiment. I haven't tried this, so we'll see how it goes. And then I'm going to open my can of beans. Beans are going to get cooked in the toast pot. Well, made a hell of a mess there, didn't I? So, I'm pretty happy with how this is going. I poked the asparagus a few minutes ago. It's good and warm and very soft. I don't want it to turn to mush. So I think it's time to get the asparagus out of here. Boy, that's a lot of asparagus. And I don't think it's going to damage the taste of the steak because I've got enough seasoning going on this steak. Look at this thing. It's an inch thick. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to eat it all. Yeah, I will.
So, I know some of you are going to say putting the pan on the wood like that's a bad idea because as the wood burns down, the pan will drop. But I've got plenty of wood. I'm really not worried about it. Got a little front flame around it, but I got hot coals under it. It's not sitting right on the coals, so I'm using the cast iron pan to cook this meat. I've done it this way for years. It works for me. I'm very happy with it. So, and I have yet to lose a steak. In this fire pit, there were already a few rocks, and they're nice and toasty. Not too hot, but toasty. So, what I'm going to use those for is to keep my plate warm and my asparagus warm while the rest of this cooks. And with the stainless steel plate, I don't have to worry about it catching fire, melting on me. It'll keep it warm. It's far enough away from the coals that it shouldn't burn anything. So, while we're patiently waiting for this to cook, I'm patiently waiting, I promise. Boy, it looks good though, but I'm patiently waiting. Talk about a couple other pieces of gear. This is the Mora knife. This is the Mora Black. It is designed specifically for bushcraft. This thing's a great knife. It's under 50 bucks. I mean, you can't beat it. And it's absolutely razor sharp. It's full tang, and it's a thick blade. It's fantastic. It's got a 90-degree edge, so using it with a fire steel, it works fantastic. The sheath is a hard plastic sheath, and I actually like that for bushcraft. I like the look of the leather sheath, but I'm not out here for looks. And I've made a couple of other modifications. I used paracord to create a space for my fire steel. This is my backup fire steel. The sheath that comes with this is designed to be a dangler, which is also extremely comfortable because I'm not reaching up here, I'm down here to get my knife and to put it back in the sheath. Now, I also carry a good old Swiss Army knife. And the reason that I carry the Swiss Army knife is, of course, a backup knife, but I've got several knives on me. But this thing has pliers, number one super important tool. I can't tell you how many times I've needed pliers and never thought I would, so it has it. It's got tweezers. I like that too. That's an extremely important tool, believe it or not, to have when you're out in the bush. And then, of course, the usual screwdrivers and knife blades and what have you. This is just a good knife, and it's a great everyday carry. It's great to carry as a backup to your bushcraft knife for those tools that you just don't know you need, but you need. Give this a try. See how it tastes. Beans are perfect. And the asparagus, what a cheap, easy way to have asparagus. If you want something green that's got a lot of vitamins in it, grab a can of this stuff and just throw it in the fry pan. It worked out fantastic. Now, I've already cut into my steak and tasted it, so I'm cheating a little bit here, but man, it's perfect and it's good. I mean, it's really good. I couldn't ask for better. Well, if y'all excuse me, I think I'm going to enjoy my dinner. Well, that was good. There's still some steak left, but I just can't do it. Made it through the beans, made it through the asparagus, made it through most of the steak, but boy, that's a lot of food. Anyway, now
is time to, because I don't want to use up my drinking water. I mean, I could get more water, I could boil it, but I don't have to. There's a stream right over there. So I'm going to walk down to the stream and I'm going to do my dishes real quick. Got my dishes clean and basically put away. And I've got a little bit of time, and I haven't really done anything bushcraft this trip because I'm in a developed campsite and there was already firewood. There wasn't much to split up. So I'm going to go ahead and make some char cloth. I've got a good fire going and it just seems like a good thing to do. So how do you make char cloth? So the first thing you need to do is you need to cut it into pieces about the same size as your tin. So something like that. You don't need to stuff the tin full, but I like to put enough in there to, I don't know, half, 3/4 full. You want it loose, you don't want it packed. So I'm going to go ahead and put one more pair of these in, just for kicks. I think that'll do it. Now there's a couple of different schools of thoughts with these. You can either punch holes in your tin to allow it to vent or not. Now I've tried it both ways, and to be totally honest, I see absolutely no difference, so I didn't punch holes in this tin. I just threw my cotton in there, closed it up, and then here's the fun part. Take it over here and just throw it somewhere in the fire. You can see the gases coming out of it are actually flaming, and that's okay. They're going to burn off pretty quick. Okay, you can see there's no more flames, no more smoke coming out of it, so it's done. So we'll let that cool down a bit, and then we'll open it up and take a look at what the char inside looks like. Take a look at our char cloth and see how it came out. And there it is. Perfect fire starter. So this is ready for the next time I need to start a fire, whether that's in the morning or on my next trip. Well, good morning. You're just in time for breakfast. Grabbing corned beef hash. I got some water on for some coffee. Okay, I think we're just about ready for a little bit of breakfast. More water here. Some say I'm a coffee snob. I consider myself a coffee connoisseur, not a snob. But I have to have my coffee, and it has to be right.
that's good. A little corned beef hash. Get my carbs and my protein. Good stuff. Well, that's really good, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my breakfast. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you took away some useful information, or at least some interesting or comedic tidbits. In future videos, I'm going to show you how my kit changes according to the specific camping I'm going to do. I don't always bring everything. I'm also going to do a video on my 5 bushcraft tools, my 5 C's. And I will be going out with just those 5 tools, just those 5 items, and showing how you can actually camp comfortably with truly a bare minimum. So thank you again for watching. Please subscribe if you like my channel. Please comment. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments section. I will answer them as much as I can, or I will address them in one of my future videos. Thank you again. This has been Biker Bushcraft.